Sup gamers, today we're going to discuss about the most anticipated game of the year, The Last of Us Part 2. The game na pinakahihintay ng lahat ng PlayStation fans and one of the fastest selling PlayStation exclusives sold in just a couple of weeks after its release. I know marami na sa inyo nakapaglaro na ng game at yung iba ay hindi pa katulad ko. But I'm still going to have a review based on different opinions from streamers, journalists, and informants that I've collected as my resources. So now before we start this video, if you don't want to get spoiled, feel free to leave and close the video. Alright, so first let's wrap up about the first part of The Last of Us. The story of the game is about two survivors, which is Joel and Ellie. Joel is a father of Sarah who is living peacefully until the virus outbreak came and collapsed the entire humanity. Sarah was killed in the first part of the game after a soldier tried to shoot them as the authorities rapidly orders to shoot all the people on the infected areas. While Ellie is a little girl who was born in the post-apocalyptic world together with her best friend Riley. The journey begins when Marlene, who's the leader of the Fireflies, asks Joel to smuggle a package to deliver it to the St. Mary's Hospital. Joel immediately accepts it, not knowing that it is a little girl named Ellie. The Fireflies will going to extract Ellie's mutated cordyceps from her brain and make a cure out of it that could save millions of lives. The reason is that Ellie is immune to spores and doesn't get infected by the virus. The two traveled across cities and had so many struggles they've been through just to get to the hospital. Through the journey, the two build up a bond like a father and daughter figure. When they get to the hospital, Marlene explains the situation to Joel about what would happen to Ellie after the surgery. Joel did not accept it and he made a selfish decision and brutally kills all the Fireflies in the facility, including Marlene, just to save Ellie. So now let's start in The Last of Us Part 2. The game has two character perspective. The first part of the game is where you got to play as Ellie, the protagonist, and Abby, a new character which is the antagonist. The story starts 5 years after the events of The Last of Us Part 1, where Joel and Ellie already lives peacefully in Jackson, Wyoming. Their relationship becomes strained because of the reason that Ellie feels guilty about Joel's actions when she was saved in the hospital instead of letting her die and create a cure and save humanity. In this part, we also got to see a lot of Ellie's emotions, her maturity, and her feelings towards to every character in the game, especially Dina, which happens to be her girlfriend, and Jesse, Dina's ex-boyfriend. The story also implies about the relationship of each character where you got to know their personality as an individual. This also includes a gender with no boundaries as Ellie is a part of LGBT community. This was also revealed on the DLC The Last of Us Left Behind, where Ellie kisses her friend Riley, revealing that she is a lesbian before the two got bitten and watched her friend die with the blood in her hands. Now let's introduce Abby. Abby is the daughter of Jerry, a Firefly doctor who's conducting the surgery on Ellie. Abby is also a member of Washington Liberation Front, or WLF, a militia group based on Seattle. Abby seeks revenge against Joel for murdering her father. She lived her life training and improving herself and swears that she will hunt down and kill Joel. On the first chapter of the game, we got to see Joel saving Abby in a large number of infected horde. They run to Abby's outpost with her friends waiting for them. After Joel introduced himself, Abby immediately shoots his foot, then her friends knock down Tommy. When held captive, Joel delivers the best line in the game.
Why don't you say whatever speech you got rehearsed? Get this over with.
While on patrol after knowing Tommy and Joel didn't get to the checkpoint, Ellie, Dina, and Jesse sets out to search for them. When Ellie enters the WLF camp, she rushes through the basement door where she witnessed the most tearful part of the game, when Abby beats Joel to death. Now, this part ang pinaka nakakaiyak na cutscene where you got to kill the main character of the first game. Alam kong marami sa inyo ang nalungkot at nainis dahil bakit kailangan mamatay ni Joel. Well, for me, di ko rin gusto na mamatay si Joel, but I think that's what he deserves. After what he have done on the first game, Remember, Joel is not a hero. He is ruthless, selfish, and he shows no mercy to the people who is against him. Baka nakakalimutan nyo, halos inubos niya lahat ng Fireflies sa St. Mary's Hospital just to save one girl. Luckily, Ellie and Tommy wasn't killed because Abby decides to just stop. They're done and they already got what they came for. Now, days after that incident, Ellie talks to Tommy and swears revenge, which Tommy agrees into. Now, this is the start of the revenge cycle. Dito iikot ang buong story as kung paano ma-overcome ni Ellie ang hatred na nararamdaman niya when she kills Abby. The journey of Ellie through the outskirts of Seattle went crucial as they encountered different enemies from WLF, the Seraphites, and the Infected. As the game progressed, Ellie chases every person on Abby's group to hunt her down and kill them one by one. Up until the final act where Abby attacks their camp by shooting Jesse in the face, held Tommy on hostage, then pointing her gun at Ellie saying,
"We let you both live, and you wasted it."
Second part of the game is Abby. Now, this is the most annoying part because you were forced to play as the person who brutally killed Joel and shoot Jesse in the face. The game intends to let you empathize the side of the antagonist perspective. Now, in Abby's story, you will get to see her relationship with her dad up until the events of the St. Mary's Hospital, where she saw her dad lying on the ground as she weeps her tears continuously. We also got to see her relationship with her friends, especially Owen, her ex-boyfriend, and also her good heart as she helps Sierra and Lev, who she has an O into, after saving her life from the Seraphites when she was held captive. Throughout the game, may isip nyo rin siguro, hindi naman pala ganun kasama si Abby. Yes, we have our own dark side. If you have someone you love killed by the person who has selfish intentions, or regardless, what will you feel? How it will affect you? What will you do? Iyan ang pinakamalaking tanong na gustong ipakita at isagot sa atin ng Naughty Dog. Neil Druckmann, the head writer of the story, said that The Last of Us is about the extreme measures one would take for love, whereas Part 2 is more about how far one would go to bring justice for those they love. Sa madaling salita, Part 1 is about love and Part 2 is about hate. Now, going back to the story, in the confrontation where Abby and Ellie meets in the theater, you were forced to play as Abby and defeat Ellie. On the cutscene, Abby outplayed Ellie as she knocked her down on the ground, then ferociously punching Ellie's face until Dina came and tried to slash Abby but ended up being knocked out as well. Before Abby was going to kill Dina, Lev tried to stop her as she throws her knife and warns Ellie that she never wants to see her again. In this part, Abby broke the cycle of revenge, where she shows mercy after she looked on Lev's face as if she doesn't want to lose someone she loved anymore. Sadly, on Ellie's side, even after a year has passed, she still can't move on and she keeps having nightmares of Joel's death. To overcome this trauma, she needs to find Abby again. She chooses her dark path over her peaceful life with Dina and JJ. On the place where she finds Abby, she was confused and she even saved her. But when they got to the boat, a memory of Joel flashes back. Then she said to Abby,
"I can't let you leave."
The two fight for their lives, Ellie for the sake of revenge and Abby for the sake of love. When Ellie got the upper hand and she was about to drown Abby, another memory flashes back, but this time it's Joel playing his guitar smiling. On this moment, Ellie finally realized that she has been consumed by hatred and she needs to let go of that feeling. After that memory, she let Abby escape, then goes back to their house empty, holding on to Joel's guitar before leaving it behind. The story gives us a lesson that for every decision we make, for every path we choose, there is always a consequence. And it's up to us on how we handle these situations, whether it's hatred, suffering, fulfillment, or love. I really love the graphics. Man, sobrang astig. This game is one of the best in graphic animations in the market. From the scenery, the ocean, the footprints on the snow, the falling of the snow, the physics of every object, the gestures of every character, death animations, the PlayStation 3, Uncharted 4, even the Hotline Miami on PS Vita. Man, sino hindi makaka-appreciate ng ganito kagandang game? A job well done, Naughty Dog! Like I said earlier, the game has two playable characters, Ellie and Abby. When you play the game, each character has a different approach in every combat, as well as their reaction to their surroundings. Ellie is more effective on stealth and long-range combat.
Quiet.
She uses her switchblade to immediately kill the enemy while off guard. She also has a bow and arrow and a long rifle for sniping enemies. Ellie uses traps for luring enemies, and a Molotov for dealing a huge scale of damage in a particular area. Abby, on the other hand, is more effective in engaging combat head-on. She uses her bare fists as her melee and choking her enemies when killing them off guard. Her weapon is an assault rifle,
Stay behind me.
a crossbow, double-barrel shotgun, pipe bombs for area damage, and of course, the best weapon, the flamethrower. This weapon is very effective, dealing massive damage to the infected, especially the big Rat King.
Dying here.
Abby has a unique trait when she was on a very high place. She is having a vertigo when looking down. The reason is that Abby is afraid of heights. While Ellie's unique trait is her immunity. She doesn't get infected when bitten, and no need for masks.
Ellie, your mask! Here, we can share mine.
No! Don't take it off!
Ellie, stop! Ellie, stop! What? No! Ellie, no!
Stop! I'm not infected. I'm immune. I'm not coughing, do you see?
It's okay, Dina. She can breathe spores.
Fuck. Dina. Shit. Can you run?
Yeah. Yes.
Let's fucking go! Go!
Okay, so before ako magbigay ng comments in my ratings, I just want to thank you guys for supporting my channel, and if you're new in the club, please hit like and subscribe, click the notification bell for more updates about my channel. Okay, so for me is hindi siya kasing ganda katulad ng part 1, it's because it has a different approach. The game was never meant to be a masterpiece, but rather wants us to learn a lesson. I just want to add some flaws in the game like, what the fuck Mel is doing on the dangerous mission? I mean, seriously? Bitch, you're pregnant.
We get to stay if you ask.
I'd rather not sit around if I don't have to.
No one's okay with this?
Why would it be up to Owen?
Anyway, there are a lot of good points about the game, and I really appreciate it, especially the devs, the writers, and all the staff who put up so much effort for creating this sequel. Good job, Naughty Dog! My overall rating? I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Fair and square. And that's it. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts and comments. If you have violent reactions, just write it down on the comment section. Stay safe and stay cool, gamers. Till next time for another VAL Reviews.